Hello, my name is Helen Lane, and I'm one of the librarians at the FIT Library. And we all want to welcome you to the FIT Library and to your first year experience as FBM students at the Fashion Institute of Technology. So, here's what we're going to be covering in this presentation. We're going to talk about why we value information, especially within the fashion industry. Then we're going to talk about finding information, how to go about finding information in the library, as well as how to build a search strategy. We're going to talk about how to access FIT library resources, how to cite your sources, as well as how to get help. So let's get started. So why do we value information? And what is it worth to you? So while you think about that, let me give you some of the answers that students have given me in the past when I've worked with them face-to-face. Information, quality information, provides us with expertise that is beyond our own, accuracy, evidence to support our claims, analysis by experts, insight by people who have other perspectives than our own, and inspiration to help us with the work that we do. These are all reasons why we value information. Information runs the fashion industry. It can come in a visual form, such as what items are appearing on runways. It can come in the form of data, such as inventory or lack thereof. It can come in the form of economic analysis. What is going on with factories in a particular country? And it can come in terms of combining all of those things, trend forecasts, and other types of analysis that combine the visual with what's going on in the world and the zeitgeist of the time in order to make predictions about what's going to sell and what's going to trend and how consumers are going to respond to how we sell things to them. All of this is based on quality information. So, authority and perspective can be gotten from a wide range of types of resources out there, and we all have our favorites. Authority is relative. There's always going to be someone who knows more than you do, or someone who brings a perspective that isn't yours because, well, you haven't had the life experience, or because they come from a different part of the globe. And we need that, and we love it, and we all have our favorite perspectives and voices we respect out there in the realm of fashion. I'm sure you have some of your favorite sources for fashion information and news. What fashion news sources do you use? And what's your favorite and why? What do they bring that is valuable to you? Scan the QR code on this page and add your perspective to our Padlet. You can also use the link underneath the QR code if for some reason the code isn't working for you. You'll be asked to just post what your favorite news source is for fashion, and then if you want to, link to it or share an image from it. Then stick around and see what your other classmates have posted as well. You might find something new, or you might find what you have in common with your classmates. So this whole idea of authority and perspective takes another turn when we take a look at the major types of fashion business publications that the FIT Library makes it its business to collect and subscribe to. They can roughly be categorized as trade publications, scholarly publications, fashion and trend forecasts, and market research services. Each of these serves a different purpose and is used frequently, these types of resources are used frequently by FBM students. They are defined mainly by their audience and the type of information they provide. We'll start with trade publications. You guys are already probably familiar with Women's Wear Daily or with Business of Fashion. These are some well-known examples, but there are other ones like Footwear News and Supply Chain Management Review and Specialty Fabrics and Stores Magazine. Trade publications are useful for practical information, examples of business strategy, current technological, economic, and legal developments. They're written for people who work in a specific industry or profession. And there is one for almost any profession out there. Now, scholarly journals. You may have heard of the Harvard Business Review. It's probably one of the more famous scholarly journals out there, especially with regard to business. But there are other ones, including ones that focus on the fashion industry, such as Fashion Marketing and Management, Global Fashion Marketing, Journal of Fashion Practice, and the International Journal of Fashion Studies. Scholarly journals are useful for in-depth original research on specific topics, original research data, case studies, proof of theory, as well as something known as peer-reviewed articles, which means that the article didn't end up in that journal because somebody thought it was cool. It was reviewed by other experts in the field and deemed worthy research to be published. Now, fashion forecasts. These are also known as trend forecasting services, and some of the bigger names in the business are WGSN and Fashion Snoops. We are very fortunate to have a range of fashion forecasting services that we subscribe to. And these services, by the way, are also used in industry. And so you get to learn to use them here, and you can actually put it on your resume that you know how to use these services. You want to turn to these services when you need runway analysis, expert insight on aesthetics and values of cultural shifts, color and silhouette predictions, visual inspiration, and the linking of markets across category. So they're good for this and so much more. You're going to be really delving into the fashion forecasts during your time here at FIT. Also, market research reports are frequently used by FIT students. These are publications that are produced by firms that specialize in the analysis of markets and consumer behavior. You will use these resources when you need business ratios, SWOT analyses, consumer demographics, market forecasts, and retail insights. So now let's talk about finding information. And finding information involves assessing your needs, understanding what information sources you require to answer those needs, and building a search strategy that works. It also, by the way, includes being able to access the library databases. So let's start with what comes first. Before you even begin to search, before you even begin to use Google or a library database, you should prep for your research. You need to ask yourself, what exactly is the topic? If you're not clear on it, talk to your professor. Ask yourself as well, are there specific questions that need to be answered? Are they required to finish the project? Also, ask yourself then what sorts of publications and formats are likely to contain the information. Like, does the specific question require statistics? Maybe you need a database. Does the question require that you understand background information on something? Maybe you need to look at a book or an encyclopedia. Last but not least, think about your research topic and sort of come up with words or discipline-specific terminology that you're going to need to find the best results. So, where do you begin looking on the library's website? Well, there are 3 different places that you can start. OneSearch. This is perhaps my top recommendation for a lot of research. OneSearch is our all-in-one search tool that searches the vast majority of our resources, both our print book collection as well as our online collection of articles and ebooks, trade publications, scholarly publications. Use it for sure when you need background information, a comprehensive overview of a topic, a history of a topic, or to find an in-depth expert perspective. The next place you can start is databases. And I would go here first if you know you need something from a market research report or from a fashion forecasting company. But you can also go here directly to search for trade and scholarly articles from magazines and journals. Lastly, you can also take a look at our research guides. It's curated advice. When you're not sure exactly what you need or you need a little self-help using our services, you can browse them by topic and you can also search them. Also, when you're in OneSearch, if we have a research guide on the topic, it will pop up. Let's take a look. So I'm going to go to the library's web page, and here we are. It's a really easy web page to remember, fitnyc.edu/library. And I just mentioned OneSearch. Do you see it on the page? It's right here, OneSearch. This is a search widget for OneSearch. You can also come down below the widget to a link, and that takes you to the main OneSearch page. You also might notice that up at the top you have a link to databases and you have a link to our research guides. So the 3 sources that I mentioned before, they're all right here, 1, 2, 3. Now, you need to log in to access a lot of our services, and I'm going to begin as an example with showing you how to log into your account in OneSearch. So I'm going to skip over the search widget and go directly to the OneSearch page in this case. And here we are. And you can see that I am already logged in because it says Lane, Helen in the corner. But just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. If I weren't logged in, you just go to sign in and you're going to be asked for your FIT username and password. And so that is your first name _ last name, but no @ fitnyc.edu afterwards. So it's not the same as your email. It's just that first part. But your password is the same as the one that you use for your email and for Blackboard and so forth. So when you log in, there are a lot of advantages to doing that. And one of them is that if you come over here and click on the arrow, you can see that I can look at my library account. I can see what books that I have out, what finds I have, what requests I've put through. And then you see these things that say favorite and search history. Well, I can save my favorite items from this collection, and I can save my searches as well. So OneSearch, great for books, ebooks, and articles. So I'm just going to show you an example. Let's say I wanted to learn more about fashion forecasting. I can come in and run a search, and it's prompting me. Do I want multi-search? That would be digital and print. Just digital, just course reserves, in other words, textbooks, just physical materials, special collections, or more. Okay? So when you start with multi-search, you get everything. And that's what I'm going to do. So what do we have back? We have a lot of results, 28,000 results. We have a recommended database, WGSN, okay? Remember, we have more than just one fashion forecasting service. And we also have a recommended research guide, a library guide here called Fashion and Trend Forecasting, which will explain what the various services are good for. Then we have a list of various things, including books, images, videos, and more. Okay, now if we want to narrow something down, we can say, you know, just show me things that are available online. Okay, or we can switch over here to just digital materials. It really pretty much does the same thing. Run the search again, just looking for online materials, similar results, but we can go to this ebook, for instance, and go straight into the database that has this ebook. please note what it says down below. You want to right-click and use an incognito window or copy and paste the link. Log in with your FIT username and password, and now we have left OneSearch and we are in a database where we are looking at an ebook from Bloomsbury Fashion Central. Okay, so that is OneSearch in a nutshell. Please note that you can permalink, email, print, copy a citation. We'll talk about that next. And you can pin this as a favorite item to your collection of favorite items. So I can go to my favorites and that book will now be listed. There it is. Okay, so that is the benefits of knowing how to log into our system. Our databases are also useful for direct use. That's a little funny, but it's right up here. You can go directly to the databases here or from the library's homepage, like I pointed out before. You'll find things organized by topic, so we can go straight down to fashion industry, and we're going to find all kinds of databases, from magazine archives to ebook collections to fashion forecasting services, and so forth. When you use a database directly, please always click on the plus sign next to it to see if there's any special instructions for how to log in. Most of our databases just require an FIT username and password. But on occasion, especially with the more expensive and used in industry type databases, they're going to want you to set up a special account, like this one with Edited. So do click on the plus sign to learn more. So the demo search I just did was just that. It was a demo search on a general topic. But when you're doing a research assignment, you may have some very specific questions that you need to find the answers for. And you're going to need to have the right language, the right keywords to use for a search, whether you're using the library database or Google. So review the question that's part of the assignment. Review the assignment. What words are being used by your professor? And are there any relevant synonyms that you can use along with those words to refine your search? Take notes in class, and as you read articles, take note of what words come up over and over again. Now, also remember to be aware of when you might need to narrow or broaden your search. Think about what larger categories a topic fits into, as well as what smaller subcategories might be available to bring about better results. And I am going to link to a video that's all about getting started with your research right here. Take a look at it. It's pretty good. So I want to talk a little bit about citing sources and APA format. So APA format is just sort of the style that you guys use in the FBM program. And it's a very well-known form of writing papers and doing citations for those papers. So why should you cite? Well, I talk about it in terms of it being part of a larger conversation. Think about your work as part of a conversation among individuals and experts in an industry. And to record that conversation meaningfully, right, and respectfully, you need to cite your sources. So you need to say where you're getting your information from and also provide a path for the person reading your paper to follow, because citing isn't just about not committing plagiarism. It's about providing evidence, and it's about providing research leads to others. Fashion business management uses the APA style, as I've said before, for both in-text citations and bibliographies. And once again, I am going to link to our video playlist for the APA citation style. Now, just to get you thinking a little bit more about citing and why it's important, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you use Instagram or TikTok or any other social media platform to build social influence or promote your personal brand? And if you do, how do you feel about someone else using your creative work on a website? Let's say they just took a photo you took and put it on a website as if it was their own. Do you expect credit? Do you want credit? Do you expect compensation? is credit not enough in and of itself? And do you expect them to ask permission? So tell us what you think and comment on at least one other post from a classmate. Once again, on Padlet, scan the QR code to join the discussion. And if you can't get the QR code to work, once again, there is a link to it. This is a different Padlet than the one before. A link to it on this page. So once again, post what you think about this topic, about someone using your work that maybe you put up on social media, and what you think is the ethical way to use someone else's work, and post it on Padlet and then respond to another student's post. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about is where to get help. So there's lots of places to get help. You can come into the library, and there is something called the Research and Instructional Services Desk where you can get help, and it is on the 4th floor at the service desk that's on the 4th floor. Service desk is going to have both a research and instructional services help position as well as someone working in the periodicals division. They're both going to be at the same desk, so pay attention to signage. The other thing you can do is use our chat and text service. Actually, this can also be used to set up a one-on-one appointment, and that is fitnyc.edu/library/ask. That will get you to our Ask the Library service. And then last of all, there is a first-year experience research guide, which is at fitnyc.libguides.com/FYE. So we really want to thank you for attending this session, and we want to welcome you once again to FIT. Let's stay in touch. You can follow us on Instagram at FIT Library, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/FIT Library. So we hope to see you soon. Enjoy your semester. Bye.